What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Once again, another iPhone 11 Pro comparison. I know you guys love these things, and if you don't, I love doing these, so you have to suck up with it. Today we're going to be comparing obviously the iPhone 11 Pro, the newly released, actually it's about like 3 weeks old now. The 3-week review of the iPhone 11 Pro will be dropping this Friday, so sorry I've been waiting so long to do reviews of these things. Obviously I've been doing comparisons, just haven't been doing the reviews. I'll be dropping a review of this and the iPhone 11 this Friday, but the Samsung Galaxy S8 is a phone that you might think isn't really a fair contender. The S8, came out, a couple years ago in 2017, and you might be like, dude, why are you comparing such an old phone? It's a used phone. It's not even that good anymore to the brand new, most expensive iPhone, one of the most expensive, it's like $100 cheaper than the most expensive, whatever. Why are you comparing these two phones? And you might be surprised, dude. The other week actually, I did the S9, Galaxy S9 versus the iPhone 11 Pro, and I noticed, dude, there were a lot of, super cool things that the S9 had, and even some advantages of owning an S9 versus an iPhone 11 Pro, that were really surprising. And then I figured I might as well take it down a notch and do an even older version of that phone, the S8, and see how it compares to the iPhone 11 Pro. So the 11 Pro just came out 3 weeks ago. The S8 came out in March of 2017, and looking around both of these phones, you can tell obviously the iPhone 11 has a little bit less of a notch as it appears so, but it's still kind of interesting because the Galaxy S8 actually has more screen to body ratio than the iPhone 11 Pro. So they both have 5.8-inch panels on the front, so very similar screen sizes. The iPhone 11 Pro has a Super Retina XDR OLED display. The Galaxy S8 has a Super AMOLED display. But here's the really weird thing, okay? The Samsung Galaxy S8 from 2017, 2 years older, actually over 2 years older than this point, has a 1440p panel at 570 pixels per inch versus the iPhone 11 Pro's panel, which is 1125 by 2040-36. And that actually has 458 pixels per inch, so you're getting almost 100 more pixels per inch on the Galaxy S8's panel than on the iPhone 11 Pro's, which is super interesting. Now, the 11 Pro's panel isn't bad, it's still very, very good, but in my opinion, without even looking at the numbers, the Galaxy S8's panel, in my opinion, is better than the iPhone 11 Pro's, which is pretty interesting, I mean, my specific S8 does have a lot of screen burn-in, but I've had many Samsung Galaxy S8s, and I can tell you, dude, Samsung did a really, really good job, even from like the Galaxy S7's panel as well. And a really funny thing, and I it's so petty, I don't even know why I bring it up, but the Galaxy S8's panel actually has 3D touch a little bit. It's not like as crazy as like an iPhone 6s or iPhone 10's 3D touch, or Force Touch for that matter. The 11 Pro does not have any 3D touch. So it's funny, this phone has something that the iPhone kind of originated. So kind of like how we're going a little bit backwards here. Now, that's pretty much it in terms of the outside. Now, the S8 does have a headphone jack as well as USB Type-C, only a lightning port on the 11 Pro. On the back of these, both have glass backs and both feel like very premium devices, but you might be surprised at me saying this again. I feel like the Galaxy S8, it might have the advantage in terms of the build quality. I feel like this phone feels very, very good. The chassis of the phone, might be the same. I feel like they could have done a better job of the chassis of the S8, but I do like how the screen edges to the side. It makes it feel way more premium, but I don't really like that in terms of functionality standpoint. It makes the phone feel thinner, but you always seem to touch it all the time by accident and click random things, but I don't know, that's kind of 50-50. The back of these phones, the single camera sensor on the S8, a triple camera sensor on the 11 Pro, a fingerprint sensor as well on the S8 on the back, but probably in the worst location ever. Thankfully they changed it with later generations, but in terms of that, that's pretty much them on the outside. Very similar kind of layout, but obviously the notch on the 11 Pro versus just the slimmer bezels on the S8. Now in terms of software, this is a thing where the iPhone 11 Pro has the biggest advantage here really. It's just getting started with software updates, with a newer phone, that's kind of what you get. But even if these phones were the same, like let's say the S10 and the 11 Pro comparison that I already did, the 11 Pro is still going to outbeat the S10 in terms of software updates as far as we know. Now, as far as we know, like I said, the S8, this is probably the last version of Android it's going to be on One UI, which kind of sucks because I feel like it can go even further, but I should have a video talking about that tomorrow about One UI 2, whenever that's coming, which there's been reports about it coming soon. But dude, I feel like the Galaxy S8 could continue further because it's still very capable. The S9 is still very close to the S8, in my opinion, in terms of design and in hardware. Where the iPhone 11 Pro, you guys already know, it's going to be lasting so long. It's going to outlast the S10, the S11, and maybe the S12 as well, who knows, but that phone is going to last a very long time. However, the Galaxy S8 does have custom ROM support, so you can go and custom ROM it. You can go put in like an Oreo ROM, which I don't know why you do that. You can put in an Android 10 ROM, and once Android 11, 12, 13, whenever those numbers come out, you'll be able to install those ROMs as well. I feel like the Galaxy S8 will always have some type of development community behind it, but that's pretty much that in terms of software. Now, in terms of the inner hardware and the specs of both of these phones in terms of power, the iPhone 11 Pro has the Apple A13 Bionic chip, a hexa-core CPU, and 4GB of RAM, where the Samsung Galaxy S8 has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 chipset, an octa-core CPU, an Adreno 540 GPU, and 4GB of RAM as well. Now, I'll go ahead and do a little bit of speed comparison between these so you guys can tell the difference between them. So here's a little speed comparison of that. Alright everyone, welcome to the comparison. I'm just going to be going through some of the similar apps that I have on both of these. You will notice though that the Galaxy S8 has quite a bit of burn-in on it, but that has nothing to do with the speed or anything at all. So Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. As you can see, the 11 Pro did load up way faster than the Galaxy S8. As you can see, not only did it load faster on the 11 Pro, but it actually didn't glitch as much either. Let's do thank you. 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, the 11 Pro was way faster than the Galaxy S8. Now getting into some gameplay, you probably won't be able to tell a difference between them because it's not that big of a difference. Snake versus blocks, 3, 2, 1. And the S8 might win this one actually. Yep, the Galaxy S8 won this one. The 11 Pro still on that home screen for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know, is it frozen or what? Netflix, 3, 2, 1. And the 11 Pro won this one. The Galaxy S8 definitely taking its time. You know, we can definitely see a huge difference between the newer device and the older device. Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. So you can see already loaded on the iPhone 11 Pro, shortly after on the Galaxy S8. Bofa, 3, 2, 1. And that was pretty close on both of them, but I do think the 11 Pro might have been the faster one. I don't know. Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Now we'll have to install this Google Play thing in order to get it functioning. Temple Run 2 again. 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, the 11 Pro just flying through. The Galaxy S8, is still, loading. Now we finally get into it, and it's glitched up. I mean, look at that difference. There's quite a bit of difference between them. The 11 Pro is way faster. I mean, look at that. Getting into some gameplay, let's see if there's a difference. And right off the jump, I mean, you can see the Galaxy S8 was glitching up even there. In terms of the actual gameplay, though, they look almost the same, but glitching up definitely for sure on the Galaxy S8. Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. iPhone 11 Pro loaded that one up faster. The Galaxy S8 eventually loaded into it, but still slower. The original Temple Run, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to have to redo this one because I was Temple Run again, 3, 2, 1. And let's see which one will get into it faster. Again, the iPhone 11 Pro should technically load this one. Okay, it did. Okay, thank God. The Galaxy S8 shortly after. Not a huge difference here, but this isn't even that big of a game, so, anything is something. Twitter, 3, 2, 1. And again, the 11 Pro is faster. Now let's go ahead and load up Real Racing 3, 3, 2, 1. Now this is a pretty intensive game, and for the S8, it always shrugs at me like I didn't even click it, which is so funny. But looking at both of them, I think the 11 Pro might win this. Yep, the 11 Pro won it. The Galaxy S8 is still loading. We got into it eventually on the S8, but there really wasn't as big of a difference as I thought. Ultimately, between these two comparisons, I can tell, yes, the 11 Pro is faster more times, but there are a couple times where the 11 Pro kind of glitches out, with that snake versus blocks thing. So not too sure what to say there, but ultimately, yes, 100% without a doubt, the iPhone 11 Pro is the faster one between the two. Now that we're back, you can tell which one was faster. I don't really know because I'm doing this in the past. That one was in the future. Let's go ahead and talk about the cameras between these. So, like I said, the S8 has a single 12 megapixel sensor. The iPhone 11 Pro has 3 12 megapixel sensors. And in terms of the quality I would say the photo quality itself might be better on the Galaxy S8. I know you hate to hear it, I hate to say it, but for my eyes and the way I look at things, I feel like the S8 might have the better camera quality in terms of the photos, but in terms of the actual functionality of a camera, I feel like the iPhone 11 Pro does a better job because, it has that telephoto lens, it has that ultra wide sensor, you can do 4K at 60 frames, you have night mode, portrait mode. But the weird thing is that you also have a lot of inner build settings in the Samsung Galaxy S8 straight into the camera app. So say what you will, but in my opinion, I feel like yes, the iPhone 11 Pro does win here. I feel like not only is the features, kind of built-in features of the hardware better on the iPhone 11 Pro, but the audio quality in terms of recording the videos and everything are also better on the 11 Pro. So I'll definitely say that's the better camera. However, when I'm looking at photos between them, when I'm looking through the screens of both these phones in terms of the photo quality, I feel like the S8 might look better, but again, that might have something to do with the screen because the screen is better on the Galaxy S8, who knows, but that's kind of something that I'm thinking about. But on the front, 8 megapixel sensor on the S8, 12 megapixel sensor on the iPhone 11 Pro. Between them, I do think the 11 Pro has a far better camera here. You can do 4K at 60 frames, but on top of that, when I'm looking at myself, when I'm looking at things, it definitely does look better on the iPhone 11 Pro versus the Samsung Galaxy S8. So that kind of covers that in terms of both of those phones. Now, in terms of the battery life, this is also kind of interesting. So I'm going to tell you, the raw specs, and I'll tell you what I think after, which might take a second. The Samsung Galaxy S8 has a 3000 mAh battery. The iPhone 11 Pro has a 3046 mAh battery. They both have wireless charging, which is really, really nice. But the weird thing is that I do think the 11 Pro has the better battery life, but I don't think it's as crazy difference as you might expect because the battery sizes are so similar, yet the Samsung Galaxy S8 wasn't really a bad performing device in terms of battery life. I feel like the S7 wasn't really that good. The S6 was horrible. The S8 was really decent in terms of battery, in my opinion. You have USB Type-C on it, so you have, that awesome connectivity. You can really connect to almost anything. So I do think between these two, the Samsung Galaxy S8 is very close to the battery life of the iPhone 11 Pro, but I do think the 11 Pro has the better battery life overall. So to kind of sum up this whole entire comparison, it might be random, it might be whatever, but there's some really cool things about the Galaxy S8 still. I mean, it has a better screen, it has micro SD card slot expansion. You can go and put in a micro SD card slot on this thing where you don't have that capability on the iPhone 11 Pro. These things are both IP68 dust and water resistant. A phone from 2017 has that capability, which is crazy. I feel like the build quality is the same, if not better, on the Samsung Galaxy S8. Really, the only thing I'm kind of petty about the S8 is the software updates. The speed, I don't know the speed performance between these. Probably the 11 Pro is faster, but if not, I can't really comment on that right now. But you have that headphone jack, you have USB Type-C. My main issue with the S8 would probably be the fingerprint sensor. But with the 11 Pro, obviously you're getting a much better camera system. The software might be better on the S8, but the hardware is definitely better on the 11 Pro. Software updates for a very long time, a very powerful phone, and all those cool little features that come with iOS updates over time. So what I'll tell you is both of these phones surprisingly still have their strong suits. For the best value per dollar, obviously a used Samsung Galaxy S8 is the best value per dollar. You can probably pick up an S8 for like $100 something, which is like a 10th or 9th of a cost of the brand new iPhone 11 Pro. So the choice is yours, but if you have an S8, I would recommend keeping it. But this is more so, I don't think people are wondering which phone to get. I think we're just looking at the differences and seeing, what a 2017 Android flagship and how it compares to in terms of hardware versus a brand new iPhone, from the Apple side. So pretty cool. If you guys want to pick up a Galaxy S8 for some reason or a Galaxy S9, I'll link those down. I'll find the cheapest ones on Amazon and link them straight in the description below so you guys can get them from there. If you guys have any questions or you think you have something else to add, leave it down in the comment section below as well and I'll check those out. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.